Oh, hey there. Welcome to my kitchen. Well, it's not my kitchen, but it's my parents, and they were nice enough to let me use it because they have a wonderful spread of appliances, utensils, everything you need to make pretty much anything you want in the kitchen. But before we get into that, let's talk about something boring, and that's actually registering your appliances. Whenever you buy them, just take a second to go online and register them. The biggest thing that does is, one, it helps guarantee your warranty, and two, it helps notify you whenever there are recalls. And that is very important. My mom didn't do this and her microwave caught on fire because of that. So speaking of fires, make sure that you always have a fire extinguisher handy. If you're lucky, your landlord may actually supply one for you. But if not, you should have one because you don't want to not have one when you really need it. But back to microwaves. Microwaves are an amazing appliance. I'm sure you've probably used one and you may not realize it, but I think they're the most versatile appliance in the kitchen. You can make everything from popcorn to a delicious alcoholic drink called the hot toddy to a freaking chocolate cake in a mug. What else can do that? So if you're shopping for a microwave though, a couple things you want to keep in mind. One, make sure you buy a microwave cover because it helps prevent all of the splatters, whether it be spaghetti sauce or chocolate cake. It makes cleanup that much easier and is much more environmentally friendly than using a paper towel every time. And it's cheaper. Other things to keep in mind are the wattage. Wattage is a measure of how hot the microwave can get and how much power it transfers to the food. So the higher the wattage, the faster it can cook things. Another thing to keep in mind is size. Some microwaves are actually pretty small. Maybe it's good for your dorm, probably not so good for your big house. So keep those things in mind when you're shopping for a microwave. All right, a toaster oven. So toaster oven is another great appliance. Number 1 and 2, microwave, toaster oven, in my opinion. Toaster ovens, you can reheat pizza, you can make hot sandwiches, obviously you can make toast, and it even can replace an oven in a pinch. It's nice too because it heats up so much faster than a full-size oven. I actually, one time, somehow caught a piece of bread on fire in my mom's toaster. Something about that area over there and fires, I don't know. I don't think it was my fault. I blame the manufacturer. So if you're not going to be using those things, the next thing you're going to be looking at is your stove. And your stove, there's multiple kinds. There's gas and there's electric. Personally, I like gas. It allows you to have a little bit better control of your heat. And I just like the way it cooks a little better. With an electric stove, sometimes it's a lot easier to clean. But as I mentioned, there's the heat aspect, and sometimes certain pans don't work as well with electric as they do with gas. But depending on where you're living, you may not have a choice. So you can make the best of what you got. And if you're in a place that doesn't actually have a stove, you can just buy a hot plate, and you can make full-fledged meals using just a hot plate. BuzzFeed, Brothers Green, and other online YouTube channels and things like that have whole recipes that are revolved just around a hot plate. So other than the stove, the next big thing is the oven. So if you're fancy, then you can have 2 of them. But if not, you can get most things done with 1. It's nice to have 2 if you're cooking for a large crowd or if you're cooking multiple things at different temperatures. But in reality, if you plan ahead a little, you can get by with just 1. Lots and lots of people do. Now, after you've cooked all of your food, one of the most important things in my life is the dishwasher. We lived without one a couple of times now, and they make for some of the worst places to live. Now, you don't always have an option with this, but if you do, make sure you get one because it'll save you so much time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears. But where do you store the food when you're done? Okay, that's of course the fridge and the freezer. Again, if you have a choice with this, you want to try and get one with an ice maker. My parents had one with an ice maker that messed up a lot, and that was annoying as heck. But if that happens to you, all you need to do is buy ice trays and a little container to collect all of your ice in. If you don't have that container, it's really annoying every time you go to get a drink that you need to break the ice up. So get one of those containers. And then lastly, it's not exactly an appliance, but it's important to have, and that's a trash can. And not only is it important to have a trash can, but make sure you think about where you're going to put your trash can. I've been multiple places where I have to ask the host, where's your trash can? And I can't find it, or it's hidden somewhere, or it's in a whole other room. So something to keep in mind as you're planning out your kitchen. That's it for the basic stuff.